super early in the morning, on the move with that race car side hustle, as always, right? So, loading up the truck. Oh, we got tools, media bag, jump pack, because we're about to go working on Ford Explorers. But when we get back, we got a very special job waiting for us. Well, I'm gonna let you guys ponder at what project we have right here, because the guy who owns this wants us to get a little bit of work done to it. Very cool little car. I'm gonna enjoy working on it. It does need some help, but that's why we're here, you know? Well, I say we. I am gonna get a little bit of help with this, but for the most part, it's gonna be me that fixes that car. So, all right, let's go ahead, head over to Travis's, Houston Speed Freaks, to go do some Ford Explorer EcoBoost stuff, you know. Oh boy, we show up to HSF and there's Ford Exploders everywhere. There you go, there's your Red Bull.
Yeah.
I know it. Already getting started. But this one's mod. Exhaust, intercooler, diff brace, and what else? A lot. This one's also got a lot.
Yeah.
As you can see, we're doing fuel tuning. This one's gonna have all the go fast stuff for sure. And with the power of movie magic, we got another Ford Explorer put back together. And before the weather set in, we're gonna go ahead and try and get the silver one done, because this guy needs data log and tuning for E85.
Yeah, and hopefully not leaking fuel.
And hopefully we fix, no fuel leaks. None whatsoever. Alright, see, I told you this silver SUV, we're gonna take this thing apart.
Soft fucking hands.
Soft hands,
Whole
brother.
hour, dude. Took a whole hour.
It took us an hour.
The intake, hot, cold side, and intercooler off.
Wheels, bumper.
The whole shebang.
Ooh, it's about to be my favorite part. All right, go ahead and breathe in. Oh yeah, that was good. Okay, all right. Breathe in again. Yeah, breathe in. All right, now breathe out. Man, and it's even before lunchtime. So now I've got to go get a transmission and tomball. Explore. Exhaust, intake, diff brace, intercooler, E85 fuel system. E85 fuel system, pretty much built. Exhaust, tuned. They're all tuned, actually. Don't mind me, just having my coffee break and a cookie, because I deserve it. Before we go ahead and get started on this Fox body, we'll call it Project Blue Primer. So I got Travis, he's gonna come help. We're smashing some energy drinks so we can get this. Okay, so I can jump start the battery and the battery will start.
Okay.
All right, so there's one thing. I just filled it up with 5 gallons of gas, so we got plenty of fuel to go from parking spot to garage spot. My car functions correctly, so it'll go out fine, but I don't know how well this current transmission goes. They said because he said he was fighting to get into reverse.
Well, if it goes into first, you can just whip it around. Let me try. Where are the keys for it?
Okay. I'll go get the jump pack. Good old 90s technology. What do you mean there's not a push button? Okay.
Why is it three pedals?
Why is Why is there Oh fuck. Alright, I hope this fucking hood doesn't fall down on me. Where's good chance this battery's gonna explode soon, so okay. Can we see if we can't crank it? Clutch in. Make sure it's not in gear. There's no safety shortfalls on this thing. Safe.
It's so loose.
So it's like the bolt's loose.
So how do I know if it's in fucking gear?
I don't know.
What is this death trap?
It's falling apart.
No wonder you couldn't find gears.
Okay. Okay, so reverse is all the way to the right and down?
That's probably why I can't find shit. Is the fucking shifter's loose.
Can we back up?
I have the clutch all the way down.
Well, we're not keeping this transmission, I don't think. Watch out for my truck.
Going to first. You can do second. I can do third or fourth.
Rev it. It's getting a new clutch too.
You want to close the hood real quick?
Yeah, let me close the hood so you can. Do you got power steering? There's a switch on the dash.
Yeah, it didn't make that.
It does, okay. Turn the wheel the other way so I can push you, I guess. He's trying to find a gear. You good? Yeah. Yeah. Oh god. Oh no! The brakes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, come on. Get that speed. You're good. Straight to yeah. Keep going. Alright, you can kill it. I'm trying to oh.
This
My head hurts from laughing.
Right, there is a power steering button, but it does absolutely nothing. It lights up.
It just lights up. Oh god. Okay, we got.
I swear I can drive this shit. This thing has a twin disc in it, and it only has third and fourth fucking gear. And the shifter itself, y'all saw, is loose as shit. Fucking handle broke off in my hand.
I got that on video too.
This is a Ford right here, guys. This is a top quality Ford right here, baby.
This is Fox body in its prime.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm not lying.
All right.
This is actually one of the cleaner Fox bodies I've seen. To be completely fucking honest. Most of them are even more clapping than this.
Including the water puddle on the floorboard.
Yes. Oh, the water puddle I was playing in. The splash pad. Does your Mustang come with a splash pad built into it? Because this one does. Pimp My Ride found it all the way up, dude.
Okay. So here's Project Primer Blue. That's what we're going to call this. Unless someone can comment down below a better project name, but Project Primer Blue seems to be accurate. So
Straight for the year, though. I'll tell you that.
yeah. So
Straight in this garage.
yeah, not even my body panels are straight. Okay, so there's a guy who, through one of my subscribers, reached out, said he needed help with his project, and he inherited this car. So don't worry, there was some previous owner action that put this thing together, and there's a lot of his father.
Oh.
So and then I believe there was a passing. So there is a that's wet. That's wet. There's a power steering pump switch. There's cooling fan switch that shouldn't be there. This is loose. Even all the bolts are loose. We're going to address that in the next one. This snapped off in his hand, which was kind of funny. And the car didn't stop. He used the e-brake to prevent from hitting my truck. And so there's a couple things that we're going to need to do. Not really a couple things. Really, one main function is to install this TR3650. And in here under this hatch is a new clutch for that. So I got a feeling that the 3550 is going to be shorter transmission than this one, and he's going to need a new drive shaft. And with a new drive shaft, that might mean he's going to be rolling out of the garage. We're going to be using the e-brake again to stop it. So, and it also looks like this thing has long tube headers. Long tube headers on my car have to come off to remove the transmission. I don't know how we're going to be with that, but we're about to lift it up, take a gander. There's a couple things we need to look at. It looks like you got room? Well, good.
I think we just have most of the exhaust and nothing.
Good. So,
I can't remember.
Yeah.
With the tubular front.
There's an issue with the battery. Battery's like caving in. I don't know if you get, yeah, you can see it's like caving in over on that side and on that side. It's about to like implode. So we probably don't have too many more cranks on that. His fuel pressure is low. So that's supposed to say 55 PSI, and he's a little short. We can address that later because that's just a switch with the Allen key. I might roll it back a little bit just to get a little bit more room. But for the most part, it's gonna be a little fun little project to work on for this guy. Because this is one of, race car side hustle. I'm gonna coin that. So, new transmission, new clutch. Probably gonna need a new drive shaft, but we'll find that out. And you guys will see on video whether a 3550 is the same dimension as a 3650. Man, I smell clutch too. If it didn't need a new clutch, it sure needs one now.
Yeah.
Third gear.
I've never started a car in third gear.
Third gear.
Fittings, but it's like a reducer. So it goes like, I'm guessing this is like 3 inch to like a fucking 2.
What the hell?
Then back to a 2.5. Or I think it's 3. It was like 2.5. Yeah.
That looks like 2 3/4 or 2.5. Yeah. This looks like a 2. I mean 3. Yeah. But we have a V-band to a reducer to. What are those? Race mufflers?
Yeah. Race muffler, X pipe.
race muffler X pipe to flange connector at the headers.
Really, I would think we could just drop.
But yeah,
this,
O2 sensors are going to come out.
This. Yeah, take O2
But it might be able to
sensors.
sneak through. Yeah. Huh. This is interesting.
What is that back there underneath the drive shaft?
I think that's like a cradle for rear suspension. Because I think these have a 4-link.
That sway bar dude is goofy looking.
Yeah. It's so skinny.
It is.
So, drop the exhaust. Drop the exhaust. Pull the O2 sensors.
Yep.
All right, let's look under the front of this real quick. So the front of this,
I didn't bring any sockets or anything.
why is there wiring right
Oh, you
here?
know what? I brought one socket. Guess what size it is?
A 15?
Yeah.
Oh God,
I came prepared, dude.
it's gonna be wrong size. So I don't know why someone would.
It's like a 17.
Oh jeez.
Or no, 16. 16.
I don't know why they have wiring right here ran at the oil pan. It's kind of silly. This looks like a god awful mess, but that's how you probably get oil pressure right there in that little T-fit. I think maybe. Got a decent. It's got a decent radiator. There's the oil, or that's the power steering pump that wasn't really doing much. There's the PCM mounted below the battery, which I don't think that's it's secure. I kind of gave it a shake test, but all the wiring is strategically dangling. I think I would want that routed a little bit better, per se. And you have the power cables, which power cables, that's something else. Oh, that is wild how they have that the maxi fuse, I guess. I think that's what that is, a maxi fuse. Strapped to the cross member. Oh man, there is a bunch of wire. There's a bunch of like it's large gauge. That's kind of all over. Yeah, yeah. This one's gonna be rewired. This one's gonna be rewired. Yeah. How long it'll take to rewire, I do not know. Oh look, there's a ground. Why is there a ground over here? So another maxi fuse. Oh, the ground's got a maxi fuse on it. Why is the ground got a maxi fuse? Why would you fuse a ground?
You wouldn't. There's not enough fucking money.
Oh God. So.
That kind of getting grounded, so like, why would you fuse it? Because then if it breaks the fuse,
Then what? It's not grounded. It's kind of weird.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We got the transmission out. This was what was in it, the TR3550. It does look like it's going to be the same length, as you can see with the, the output shaft being in the relative same spot with the input shaft as well. So I think we just got to move that yoke over to the drive shaft, and things will work out. Looking at the car, this exhaust. Someone wanted to use a V-band over here, but they used the ball and socket flange over here. Then it's also like reduced down, which already it's kind of like a slip fit into the V-band, so it's reduced there, and then it's a reducer in itself to go down to the remainder of the exhaust pipe, which is interesting. Found some Black Widow spider eggs, so we still have the bell housing to remove. But yeah, the wiring, the wiring's there. The wiring doesn't look terrible in itself, at least the Coyote part. But when you go to the front, it kind of looks like a spaghetti mess. Maybe it's me not familiar with the car, but it's not easy to follow. If it were my car, I definitely would want to rewire it to simplify things. Here, let me show you. This is only something you can appreciate when you see it for yourself. So top part, it's weird because it's nice and tucked. Like you can't. It's like, okay, cool, Coyote, right? Go right below it. Holy smokes! Now, of course, the PCM is right here. Let's see. Oh, let's see if we can find out. Is it a control pack? I can't see it. It looks like it's a control pack because of the stuff like this right here. So it looks like it's a harness that goes to trans. It looks like it's some kind of control pack. I don't know if it's a Ford control pack, but you can see that there's this, you got battery, heavy gauge battery wire over here. It follows along the tubular cross member over here to the alternator at least, and it's interesting. It might take a while to learn it, understand it, but it's interesting. Also, you got wiring that runs close to the pulleys and stuff. I mean, at least they're cautious. At least they put a fuse in there, At least they use the fuse. So, some of this doesn't... Is this crispy? No. It looks like it's just exposed. So this would be something I'd want to try to shield better from the elements, from like water being splashed up, because there's nothing down here. Like at least perhaps flip this. I would probably flip it or rotate it upwards. That way it just misses everything. It's not gonna be an issue like getting caught. You do got some battery cables that run close to the header. Wow, holy smokes! So that's the starter, which you're not avoiding that. That's where the wires have to go. But boy, oh boy, why is it such heavy gauge? Because one of those should be just a signal wire. One of them is going to be a power wire. I think that's just all it's supposed to be over there. Why is there three over there? I don't understand that. Oh, there's two on the same wire. What the heck? That's strange. There's a ton of zip ties right here in one spot. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 zip ties holding on this one cable. Oh, wait, 5, 6. Right there. Yeah. That's it. And it's dripping fluid. So I don't know where that fluid's coming from. Engine looks fine. Engine looks good. Engine sounded like it ran healthy. Yeah. No issue on the engine part. The transmission struggled. We were able to drive it into the garage in third gear, probably glazing the clutch. Yeah, see, also this wiring so close to the strut brace, I wouldn't want that. That doesn't look good. I wouldn't do that. Sorry if I sound judgmental. It's things that kind of even raises my eyebrow, and I'm pretty loose when it comes to standards on build quality. I'm all about function. If it functions, fuck it, run it, But if it don't function and it looks like this, I feel like you gotta spend some time. Spend some time. Oh, here's another ground. That's interesting. Where's that ground come from? So to the ground. Oh, battery. Okay. All right. I can dig that. That's kind of weird. I'd want that on the chassis, but not on the engine that isn't technically grounded. So, all right. Time to pull off the bell housing. We gotta pull off the bell housing, pull off the starter. and get this going for the new transmission. All right, quick update. So right now, I've got the bell housing here. It's loose. As you can see, it's not square. There you go. It's loose, but I can't get past this primary on the starter side, and I can't get past the primary here because of the ribbing right here. So I have to, at the very least, take off one side of the exhaust, one side of these long tube headers. I think these are BBK headers because they hug the transmission, and if this one is giving it trouble, I know for a fact the other one is going to be the same issue. I mean, it's practically the same bell housing, it's just not going to be on two separate. It's just not going to be two separate pieces like for this transmission. It's going to be all one piece going in. So I need to take off at least one side. I think I'm going to take off the passenger side, being that it's got that large starter bulge for the most part. And I feel sorry for the person who has to change the starter, because the starter, it only goes one way in, one way out, and yeah, it's pretty tight fit. Everything in here is pretty tight fit. Almost like it's more, it's almost like it's a tighter fit than my Mustang. So, I have a new appreciation for Vox bodies. So, I'm willing to argue that this car is, with Coyote swap, is probably tighter than that car is, in the sense of fitment and like headers and stuff. Because right now I'm trying to get passenger side header off underneath the car. That's the current task right now, because I can't get the bell housing out without it. Hopefully, and I mean hopefully, I can sneak the transmission in with the driver's side hooked up, but I have a feeling that will at the very least need to be loosened. So, time to get this thing jacked back up, get after it, see if we can't finish the job, because I am definitely ready to get my car back in the garage. It was out all night. Anyways, so time to get after it. I think the bell housing is a little slimmer, or not slimmer, but the webbing, it's a little less dramatic than that transmission. So time to get after it. All right, so bell housing's out, which means time for us to pull this clutch off, which is an RST. Should be simple enough. I've got a new single disc in the back to take its place. Oh, some other good news. This yoke fits that transmission, so we don't need to replace this. And being that the transmission is the same, it looks like it's just going to be a direct swap. All right, finally got the RST off the car. Let's see what kind of life this thing had. Which, those are some spots. That's bad right there. Plenty of life left into these discs, I would say. Pick up a piece of hardware. Keep that with the rest. But okay. Yeah, I mean, not bad. A lot of spots on here, but that one's not terrible as well. All right, so before we get underneath the car, just want to take a little quick moment. Precise Built torque wrenches. You can use discount code GarageBuiltCoyote. Be an adult. Torque down your flywheel bolts and your clutch bolts. Okay, and then take this little moment. You can use discount code GarageBuiltCoyote at PreciseBuiltTools.com for a little discount for your next torque wrench. All right, quick update video because I'm doing a terrible job of showing you what I'm doing. But the clutch kit that we had was for a 99 to 04 Mustang. This does not go to the flywheel that came off or the new flywheel that it came with. So we had to go find a Terminator Cobra flywheel from an O'Reilly's. Luckily they had it, and we grabbed it, got it. We got hardware. So now it's time to like bolt it on up, torque it down. Because I had already gone through this whole mess with those flywheels because I thought, silly me to think that the previous guy bought the right parts. All right, I am trying like a motherfucker to get this in here, but I'm pretty sure I ain't getting past these fucking primaries. Okay, it's just a hunch, you know. So I've gotten fucking motor route belt, you know, that bolt out right there. Both of them on the side, try to maximize my tilt backwards, and it's on the firewall. Oh. So like we're on the firewall. We're touching the firewall, you know. So I got the thing tilt back as much as possible, and then going from this angle. It's just, ain't no way. I don't think there's a way it's gonna sneak past. Cause I gotta go up. And if I go up, you know, like, yeah, like I'm like twist maybe. All right, this is day 4 of doing this transmission swap in a Coyote swapped Fox body that you know, just the old one didn't really shift too good. I think it needs like a synchro kit, to be honest. Also, it had an RST twin disc, which is a little bit aggressive for what this guy wants to do with the car. He's not racing, and I think he's going to stay naturally aspirated. So, you know, being that he's going to run the simple life, he just needs a simple clutch to go along with his nice, crispy shifting 3650 transmission. So it's still a 5-speed, bolted right up to the Coyote engine with some hiccups. Because as you can see, my garage is absolutely trashed. I would say this is trash. We have parts everywhere. So, and and again, I'm apologizing about this video because it's so choppy. It's, hey, we just did a thing. Hey, we just did a thing. Hey, we just did a thing. That kind of deal with the content. And, you know, I know you guys probably want to see the work being done, but unfortunately, I'm so focused and actually learning this car myself and how it's kind of put together, and kind of, you know, because there's some questionable things that I wouldn't have done whenever I Coyote swap a car. So we're learning. We're trying to figure out. We're trying to get into the mind of who built this car. Definitely was done on a budget. That's bad, because it's not all bad. It's not all terrible. However, you know, I don't know. I think maybe I would have put better thought. I don't know if it's better thought. I don't know. I don't know how they built it. Reason why it is the way it is. So Point being, we found several things. We were fighting the transmission yesterday. Turned out one of the issues we were fighting was, one, this is the tight car to fit that transmission into, or really, it's a tight fit to fit the transmission into with the Coyote. Next issue that came about was the next issue that came about with the transmission swap. The engine has dowels that will kind of help you locate and hold, engine transmission in their proper placement. There's dowels in the engine and there's dowels in the bell housing. So we had stabbed the transmission, went through all the work of getting it into place, just to find out that we had to take it back out to remove those dowels. And no, they don't slide out. We had to get vice grips, we had to get hammers, we had to get lubricating oil, we had to get pry bars, we had to get an extractor, which I guess I'm gonna cut that off, but you can kind of see the fun we had on our backs underneath that car. Boy, do I want to lift. So, nonetheless, this is kind of what victory looks like. I'm going to take that victory. So, today is going to be focusing on reassembling of the car. All the hard part is done. It's just time to put it back together. So, first order of business, while we have the engine loose and on the hook, I'm going to bolt up that header I had taken off. When the header is taken off, I'm gonna go ahead and get the motor mounts put back together. When the motor mounts are back, then I can put the cross member for the transmission back, start putting the shifter where it needs to go, assembling the shifter. Then that would mount everything back into the car. It'll get it rock solid. Rock solid as what it'll need, or for what it needs to be. Then intake can be put back on. Intake tube, for now, I have a better one on the way, thank God. Powered by the hour, thank you for some quality parts. We even had to, get the thread chasers out on one of those exhaust manifold studs. What else we got going on? Clutch cable has to go back, fuel has to get plugged back in. The coolant overflow tank needs to be plugged, and then just plug it all, reassemble, and then the exhaust needs to go back on, and that should be it for this endeavor. That will complete the transmission swap. Once we have all that back together, we'll double check the clutch, make sure the clutch is all good to go. It should be just slap it all together and good to go. So as you can see, I got the air intake on, I got the coolant expansion done. I've got everything kind of positioned where it kind of needs to be. I do know that the motor needs to be wiggled and moved a little bit, but that's partly because the transmission doesn't have a cross member yet. So we're waiting on the cross member to show up, so that we can kind of have it all bolted up and centered and where it's supposed to be, all that good stuff. So, of the parts that I do have in my possession, and I'm not waiting for them to be delivered, is the exhaust and the starter. So it should be fairly simple enough. The exhaust, so I have the headers bolted on. I never took off the axle backs. Axle backs. So I have the mid X pipe to basically just bolt up in the middle, and that way that'll basically complete the exhaust. And then I got my little starter to put on. That's 3 bolts and 2 electrical connections and things like that. I got to put the O2 sensors back in. That's something else. That whole tail harness. It wasn't ran the best, so I think I'm gonna make sure I kind of tuck that up and out of the way. It's coming together. It's doing pretty good. The clutch disengagement seems to be working. I was able to kind of do a little preliminary test before I was able to fire this thing up. yeah, pretty good. Pretty good so far. Everything's going swell, suave, smoothly. So, I'm gonna finish these things up. I might try to maybe rig the transmission into place and get this thing out of my garage. That way I can park the old 65 back in here, get my parking spot back. And if all we got to do is just lift it up, bolt on a cross member, I think we could do that. We might be able to manage that in the driveway or on the curb. All right, let's see what we got here. Neutral. We got power. Okay. Clutch down, neutral. First, slowly let the clutch out. There it's rolling. Clutch in. Brake. Stops. Off the brake. Clutch still engaged. Re-engage first gear. There you go. See, check that out, man. Try second gear. Yep, second gear is good. Third gear. Third gear is good. Fourth gear. Yeah, let that ball down in. Alright, fourth gear is good. Go up to fifth. Hell yeah. Okay, fifth going. Alright, let's try reverse. Look at that. We got all of them. So, toward the end of this day, we're basically 99% complete. As you can see, Primer Blue Fox Buddy drove under its own power out of the garage. So, I had I still don't have the cross member, which I made a temporary transmission support cross member deal. And I just lightly drove the car. I did not stomp on it, give it some real torque, because that probably would have not ended well. So until I get the cross member, I can't really put good power down. But in the short drive that I did drive the car from out of the garage to its current parking place, I've learned that the electric power steering pump that is in the car doesn't work very well. I know on my car, I have the power by the hour speed drive, which comes with a GM Type 2 or Saginaw power steering pump. Phenomenal system. Oh, so reliable. I beat it on the track. It goes for long drives. It can find my parking spot in Walmart or the mall or Starbucks or whatever and not have a single hiccup. So, I think I'm going to make that recommendation over to the owner of Primer Blue, and I'm going to say, hey, I think we have a better solution for your power steering, because he has Hydro Boost brakes. So that's another thing. The power assist brakes, you have to stomp on those things. Like, it takes so much energy to get such little assistance with the braking. And with the and there's no assistance in steering. There's just not. It doesn't work great. So if it is pumping or if it is working, it's not doing a very good job. So I think that might be one of the next projects coming up. And for the most part, I think we're just gonna call it good. I don't think you guys need to see me bolt up an X pipe or 4 bolts on, like, it's literally these 4 bolts to a cross member to a transmission. For the most part, we've got a successful. We're going to call this success. I successfully did a transmission swap of a TR 3550, which I think comes with the Fox bodies. Like I think I think the earlier years it came with the T5. And this 3550 either came in the later years of Fox body or the SN95, and then he wanted to put the 3650 into it. So almost the same transmission, a little bit modern, a little bit better, probably holds a little bit more power. And that is a transmission that I know comes in the 03 and up to like 2010. That's the transmission. That's the 5-speed that goes into the Mustang GTs of that era. So that successfully was a swap. We didn't need to get a new drive shaft. We didn't need to cut a drive shaft. We didn't need to change a yoke or U-joints or anything like that. It kind of just went right into place. Then it's just the transmission cross motor. That's pretty much it. We got a new clutch in there, more streetable. Actually, it's the same exact clutch I have in my car. So we know that clutch is pretty phenomenal. Does great for street driving, and it can handle, some track duty. Let's see what else we got going on. There is also, I noticed a leak in the power steering, but for the most part, hey, when I was running and I was trying to diagnose that power steering, the car did a good job of managing its heat, and so he has a really good radiator, really good cooling fans. Doesn't seem like he has an overheating problem at all. However, he really needs to have the PCM dictate when the cooling fans turn on, not a button on the dash for him to do it manually. No, I think that's silly. So I'm probably going to end up wiring that one in a different way. So, but go ahead, you guys leave a like. Let me know that you guys like seeing a different Coyote swap. This is going to be there's a lot of firsts happening here. I guess this is the first time that I've been commissioned to build someone else's Fox body. I mean, not Fox body, Coyote swap car. It just happens to be also a Fox body. So, a lot of first here. Let me know. It might be a different change of pace. You guys might enjoy a different perspective of Coyote swap into a different chassis. Maybe that's something you guys are really kind of want to know some of the details of and things like that. And I'll definitely do my best to provide video and details of how things go. I wish I was able to show you guys more install stuff, but there was a lot of first for me where I was just trying to figure it out. And this job actually probably took a little longer than I expected it to, just because I was kind of learning for the first time. But leave a like, comment down below your thoughts. Let me know if you guys have questions about this Fox body. If you guys want to know about the suspension, the tire setup, the brake setup, the engine, more details on the engine, more details on the wiring, more details on future plans, I can definitely get into discussion. It might be the next video. But hey, if it's your first time here, why don't you think about subscribing, and I will see you guys later.